Hello students, you are welcome to this session of Energy 207. In this time we are going to discuss on fungi. Fungi. Fungi are eukaryotic cells that lack chlorophyll, but more complex than bacteria, consisting of a nucleus containing chromosomes inside the membrane. Surrounding cytoplasm contains mitochondria and ribosomes and may reproduce both sexually and asexually. When you have studied this session, you will to describe the general characteristic and structure of a fungus, to explain how fungi can be classified, and also to discuss fungal reproduction, alongside to explain the importance of fungi. Like I said earlier, fungi are eukaryotic. They possess membrane-bound nuclei which contain chromosomes and a range of membrane-bound cytoplasmic organelles which are mitochondria, vacuoles, endoplasmic reticulum. Most fungi are filamentous. They are composed of individual filaments which are used for locomotion. Some of them are unicellular in nature, especially the yeast we commonly know. Protoplasm of an alpha cell is surrounded by a rigid wall, composed primarily of chitin and glucan. Many of these fungi reproduce sexually, and many of them reproduce asexually. Also, this is the arrangement of cell wall of fungi. You will see from this diagram that it has many layers. You have the amorphous glucan shown in yellow. You have the layer of glycoprotein in blue. You have a layer of protein per se in green, and you have chitin like this. So, like I said earlier on, that the cell wall is made up of glucan and chitin. They are arranged in this layer. They are now covered up totally by plasma membrane, which cover everything up. So this is typical structure or arrangement of the cell components of a typical fungus. This is a structure of an hypha. An hypha, like you have seen here, is a typical nature of a fungus. And this nature of a fungus is just a tiny structure, many of which come together to form fungus. And this is an hypha. An hypha has some typical structures which you will see from here. But let me say that this septum you are seeing here, it's just a division between one hypha and another. It's like this. So septum divides one hypha and another hypha. This is what we call septum. This is septum. So this septum divides one hypha from one another. And this structure of hypha, like we have said, we have inside the membrane endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes is there. This is a full vacuole. You have food is being processed. You have a crystal. You have a lipid body here. The nucleus is there, and you have vesicles around this area. All these are enclosed in plasma membrane, like we have shown in the last slide. So this is the typical structure of an hypha. Fungal nutrition. Fungi are heterotropic in nature. They are heterotropic in nature. That is why they say chemo-organotropic. They secrete the organic compound they need for growth and energy from pre-existing organic sources in their environment. using the energy from chemical reaction. That is how fungi live. And also, many of us are familiar with the appearance of mushroom and toadstool. The mushroom we eat at home and the toadstool. But this structure are simply the large and macroscopic nature of fungi. That is, many of these microscopic fungi, when they come together, they form this macroscopic one, which we see as mushroom and toadstools. The actively growing and reproductive structure of most species are microscopic. So when they come together in cluster, they form this one we can see as mushroom, which are macroscopic in nature. The other way you can classify fungi, you can use their mycelia to classify them. You can say they are unicellular and primitively branched cycles. Some are yeast, whereas some are dimorphism. You got to know what all those mean. Fungal reproduction, like I said earlier on, could be by asexual or sexual reproduction. When we say asexual, it means only one form of fungus. We now define cell either by spore formation or by budding system, and we now form two daughter cells like this. If you see a fungus like this, it can form a body by dividing itself to two. This two is divided to 3 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, and like that until they start producing themselves in large number. When you talk of sexual reproduction in fungus, what you see is that two fungi will come together to reproduce. They exchange within themselves some chemicals which will now produce from the female circle another two other cells. So this one involves the mating of both male and female fungi. Also, when you talk of asexual reproduction, and the fission of smaller cell leading to similar cell, like I've said, it is not fusion now, it's fission. When you talk of fusion, it means two will come together. When you talk of fission, it means only one cell will divide itself into two. By body, that is a small outgrowth from parent cell will come up, which develop into new individual cells. Or you talk of what they call the jointing or fragmentation, or they can form spore formation. These are methods by which asexual reproduction takes place in fungi. And you see the diagrammatic expression of asexual reproduction in fungus. You have the what we call zoosporangia and zoospores. So this spores formation leads to this vegetative hypha. And what you see that the meiotic form of production in female, when the two cells should now come together. That is what they call asexual reproduction in fungi. Whereas, when you talk of sexual reproduction, they have about 5 steps that will take place. The first one is the gametic copulation. Copulation is the fusion of naked gametes, one or both of which are motile. You will see them coming together. Then there will be gamete mitochondrial copulation. When two of them come together, they do not fuse. The male nucleus migrates through a spore to be into the female mitochondrium. Male and female will come together. And so also, there is what they call gametochondrial copulation, followed by somatic copulation, whereby the somatic competitive cells will come together. And then it will end up into fertilization, whereby the union of special male structure called somaticum with the female receptive structure will come together with the male one. They now form a new daughter or a new sex of a fungus. This is what they call somatic copulation. You have the nuclear fission. You have the nuclear fission here. Fusion Fusion means you have the gamete from male, you have what they call gametanglia from female. They both come together and they fuse. This fusion is called nuclear fusion. And when they come here, they form a diploid. This diploid means they form two. The two cells will produce from this fusion. So, apart from that, we talk of the importance of fungi. They are agents of biodegradation and agents of biodeterioration. When we talk of agents of biodegradation, they are known for majority of plant diseases and several of animal diseases we have. But when we talk of bioremediation, they are beneficial in agri industry. That is how they are being used as fertilizers and other forms of agricultural materials. Also, they are used in industrial fermentation, that is in yeast formation. They are used commercially to provide us with sorts of food that we eat. They are also used in fermentation, beneficial in agriculture, horticulture, and forestry. So they have a lot of benefit to mankind. And with that, because of the end of this discussion on fungi, when next we meet another class, we will talk about other microorganisms of medical importance. Thank you for listening and see you in the next class.